I'm hurting right now, lads. I really am. My hometown team, my Australian team, the Western Sydney Wanderers, have missed out on the playoffs again. This year had so much promise. We were genuinely one of the favourites to win the league. The side we were putting on paper as well looked unbelievable, but it came down to the final day of the season. We miss out 7th place in the A-League. It's just not good enough. We're the only Australian club to win an Asian Champions League, but that was 10 years ago this November. We're still yet to win an A-League title, and we honestly haven't come close in the past almost half a decade, if not longer. All too often, I have you guys commenting for me to rebuild your favorite team because they're a mess. Right now, I'm telling myself to rebuild the Wanderers because we're a mess. This one is personal to me. Today, I'm going to win us our first A-League title, and I want to win us our second Asian Champions League title. Well, I'm not rested until that's done. I'm not resting until the Wanderers are the biggest club in Australia once again. So here is the default starting 11 we have been given with the Wanderers from this year. I mean, we've got Socceroos on our squad. We've got Jorrit Hendricks on our side as well, but this team was not good enough to make the finals. For those that aren't familiar with the A-League though, there are certain rules around squads. I'm going to be following those. Obviously, I can't implement a salary cap, but when it comes to the marquee and designated player rules, I'm going to be following them in this rebuild. So just to catch you guys up, each A-League club is allowed 5 overseas players. On top of this, they're allowed 2 marquee players. These players do not count towards the salary cap in the A-League. And you're also able to get 1 guest player, which is a 6-month or less period for half the season. This hasn't been enacted too many times in the A-League era, but that is still something available to us. With this current Wanderers side, we currently have 5 overseas players already, those being Marcelo, Tom Beedling, Jorrit Hendricks, Sonny Kittel, and Marcus Antonsen. We also do have Miloš Ninković and Dylan Cicluna, who are listed as being Serbian and Maltese in career mode, but in real life, Ninković has got his Australian citizenship, so he is now considered a local player, and Cicluna is also Australian. He identifies as Maltese from a national team standpoint, but he is signed to, I believe, a youth academy squad deal in real life, which keeps him exempt from the rule in real life. It is glaringly obvious to me though, we need some serious help in our backline this year, but I don't feel the need to use any of the 2 available marquee signing spots on defenders. So for this season, I'm planning on keeping it strictly Australian. Callum Elder is going to be our new left back here, joining us from Derby County. Gianni Stensness is going to be partnering up with Marcelo in the backline there. He comes back from Viking FK. And Matt Miller is going to be jumping across rivalry lines, making the move from southwestern Sydney to Western Sydney. Over my dead body, Marcus Younis going to Sydney FC would genuinely put me into a coma. Over my dead body. There are so many young players I do want to get loan moves for though. Alex Buttolato, one of them, he's heading to the Romanian league for 2 years. Oscar Priestman heading to Mansfield on loan. And Marcus Younis, one of the best young prospects at the Wanderers. He was one of the best things to come out of this season, seeing how much passion he played with. We're going to loan him out for the year to Western United. Just one player I am going to sell here in the window here. It is a right back. It is Gabriel Clare. He's heading to Beijing FC. We had so many players available to right back role, but none of them were really that good on paper, so we're going to sell him. I don't want Milanovic sitting behind Sonny Kittel on the bench though and rotting away this season. So while Sonny Kittel is here, we're going to send him off to LA. Not a bad way to spend 12 months, but that is the opening window done and dusted. I really just wanted to focus on the defense here, getting that up to scratch. We might honestly have to go and get a new attacking midfielder though in January because both Blazanic and Ninković are rapidly decreasing. We've got an aging squad in a lot of positions. I did want to keep the marquee player roles available for the future though, because we're going to have to replace players like Ninković, like Antonsen. So I'm really trying to keep that in the back of our mind. I want to try winning the A-League this year though. If we could do it this year, that would be great. It would also be great if we could qualify for the Asian Champions League. Let's see how we're looking here halfway through. 1st of January, we're only 9 games into the season. The A-League definitely starts a lot later than the rest of the European leagues and all the other leagues in the game, but we're sitting 4th. So far, so good. But Sonny Kittel got recalled by his team, so that means we get an extra international player spot. But I'm going to recall old mate Milanovic back from his loan at LAFC. He's gone up 1 overall. He can have the starting left mid spot. Does he? He stays at 66. Gotta sort out this attacking midfield role because both Bozanic and Ninković Kulinovic have gone down to 60 overall. Sakluna's 58 rated, but that's not good enough to win an A-League title right now. And we don't necessarily have the money to go out and blow some cash on a marquee player, so I'm just going to go ahead and get a gap filler for the time being. It's Stefan Malk from Adelaide United. He's got A-League experience. He's been around for a long time. £500,000 to bring him to CommBank Stadium. This is better than real life. This is better than what the Wanderers copped in real life. We have finished 4th in the A-League this season. Only 5 losses all season. That is a huge gap between us and 7th place, but we are in the elimination playoffs. Both Melbourne clubs getting through automatically. Who are we versing? We've got Perth Glory. Sydney have already taken down Brisbane. We've got Perth Glory here in the elimination finals. A toilet seat here in season number 1 would be absolutely incredible. We need to win. We're at home in front of the RBB at CommBank Stadium against Perth Glory, and we lose it in extra time. Oh man, we have gone out just like last season. In the first week of the finals, we go out to Perth Glory. That absolutely sucks. Semi-finals, Melbourne City beat Perth, so it's going to be Melbourne City versus Sydney FC, the Sky Blue battle here in the A-League final. Please not Sydney FC. Melbourne City win the A-League here in season 1. Asian Champions League goes off a different calendar, so I'll try to keep you guys updated with who wins that every year, but here's the quarterfinals for this year's Asian Cup, or Asian Champions League. Brandon Borello and Antonsen getting it done up top. We might need to look for a new striker next year though. Marcus Antonsen rapidly decreasing. Maybe we give Alex Badalado the starting striker spot, up +4 this year. Eunice up +4 as well. Jared Carluccio up +2. Priestman up +3. But we are going to be saying goodbye to Oli Bozanic, who's going to be going into free agency, and the great Milos Ninkovic, who's going to be retiring. Next year though, we need to make some massive moves, start looking at some marquee players if we want to win the A-League title. So coming into this second season, we have 4 of our 5 international spots filled, 0 of our 2 marquee player spots, and I plan on using these to our advantage. I tried to pull off one of the great A-League marquee signings. Marco Reus was a free agent. Unfortunately, he rejected our offer and has gone to Aston Villa. He still thinks he's got more in him, but man, imagine if we signed Marco Reus. Josh Brilliante out of the club though. He wanted to make a move away. He's not going to get a starting spot, so we're going to cash in on Josh Brilliante. Nathan Barry off on a 1-year loan move to the Central Coast Mariners, and the loan moves continue. Dylan Sakluna off to New York City. A massive transfer though, which I never expect to happen, at least in the next 5 years. I'd be remiss if I didn't say that this was not a realistic transfer, but I had to make it happen. Harry Suter is joining us, but I am going to concede the fact that with the wages we're paying him, he's going to have to be one of our 2 marquee players. I could have copped out and said, yeah, he's Australian, so he falls into our Australian rule, but with those wages, it happened with Jamie McLaren at Melbourne City. When you're paying an Australian player too much money, they have to be marquee. But we're going to fill our final international player spot, signing a new striker here off the free agents list, the Croatian Sandro Kulinovic. He's going to join us. Not too sure about this guy's past, but I'm hoping his future is going to be bright. We've opened up another marquee, or not even marquee, another international spot here as the Englishman Tom Beadling signing on with Villarreal's B team. 530k added to the bank account. Speaking of 530k, we're about 20,000 subscribers away from that. So if you are enjoying this video and you aren't already subscribed, go ahead, scorpion kick that subscribe button. Nathaniel Blair's off to Brisbane for the year. And look, I've had to make a move I'm not exactly over the moon about. I wanted to send Aiden Simmons out on loan. He did not want that. He was infuriated by that. He wanted a transfer, so we're going to make it happen. Tate Russell's the backup right back now, behind Matt Miller. Aiden Simmons off to Switzerland. We're also saying goodbye to 58 rated Aiden Hammond. This is actually massive. All right, I'm excited about this. I wasn't super confident when I tried to make it happen, but we get the American youngster, former Wonder Kid, trying to take a bit of a left field tactic to really take his career to the next level. Richie Ledesma is joining us from PSV, and once again, that is our marquee spots filled. Sorry, I keep saying marquee. That's our international allotment field. We've still got 1 marquee spot left over, but I don't think I'm going to use it this year. Compared to what we were rolling with last year, this team is actually mental in comparison. We've surely got enough work done here to push us up from 4th place to title contenders this year. We've added a rock to the backline in Suter. Ledesma and Kulinovic are going to have surely a massive attacking impact. Brandon Borello's always solid. Stensness, Thomas in goals, knows how to win competitions. I'm excited for this year. Also, just to keep you guys in the loop, the Asian Champions League did go to Al Ittihad this year. No surprise to see Ittihad and Al Hilal playing against each other. To think that if we want to complete this rebuild, we're going to have to compete with the Saudi clubs. Like, it's kind of terrifying. Top of the league, 1st of January. I'm hoping we can stay there though. Like I said, I think this can be our year to tick the A-League off, but we got to get there first. Let's just get top 2, at least, so we don't have to deal with elimination finals. We did, of course, lose Brilliante in the summer window. We never replaced him, so we're going to go out here and pick up Joe Coletti, the Australian former Brisbane Raw defensive midfielder, off the free agents list to cover that role behind Hendricks. Finally got a loan move over the line though for Marcus Eunice. He's going to be spending the back half of this season getting invaluable experience at Cardiff City. Although, to be fair, I don't know if I can necessarily see him getting more game time in the Championship than the A-League. Premiers play winners here. Melbourne City, they're going for back-to-back. We finished 3 points ahead of them, rather. Sydney, Wellington, Central Coast, and Newcastle, the remaining teams. Elimination finals saw Newcastle and Central Coast, the F3 derby, getting big wins there. So we're going to be versing the Newcastle Jets for a spot in our first A-League Grand Final as manager. Can we get the win here? We have not got a win yet in the playoffs as Wanderers manager against the Jets for a spot in the A-League Final. We do it 4-0. Brandon Borello with a hat trick. Miller with a goal to start things off. Oh my God, we have dominated the Jets, and we're going to be versing either City or the Mariners in the A-League Final. It is a replay from the first ever season in Wanderers club history. I was at the game in 2012 when the Wanderers played the Mariners at the A-League Final and lost. Well, the 2012 season, I was sad. It was only the first year though. Optimism was high. I thought, all right, we're going to win an A-League title probably next year or the year after. Still no A-League title, so it would be really full circle if we could lift the toilet seat against the Mariners. After his hat trick against the Jets, Brandon Borello comes into this A-League Final wearing the captain's armband with 19 goals to his name. Sandro Kalanovic with a great first season. Tate Russell, an underrated asset as well. But these will be the final games for Marcelo, Jack Clisby, and Marcus Antonsen. Can we get the win here? We've already secured ourselves a spot in the Champions League next year, but can we win ourselves an A-League title? Go on, Ledesma. Great ball in there. Kalanovic. Oh, what a save. Ballard playing that one in behind. Thomas off the line, but it's Quoll who's gonna give the Mariners the lead here before halftime. We need a spark off the bench here, fellas. They're bringing on some players as well, but we're going to be making a double substitution. It is going to be Malk and Pierres coming off the bench for Ledesma and Brook. We need that spark. Oh, the long wait for an A-League title for the Wanderers is going to continue. We were played off the park today, and the Mariners are going to win yet another A-League title. Absolutely gutting sights, lads. We're going to be back next year, though. I'm going straight into the transfer market, knowing exactly what we need to do. Fair play to the Mariners. I have a soft spot for them, so it's nice to see them winning, even if it's at our expense. So coming into this season, we have 3 international players, 1 marquee. So that's 3 spots that we have available. And we're going to fill the second marquee spot right now. Matteo Politano. I'm actually gassed. We've beaten out Barcelona for his signature. Politano is going to join us on a 1-year marquee contract. And to be fair, if we're going to be taking on some big clubs in the Champions League, we definitely need some higher rated players like Politano. We're going to be selling 2 of the worst players from that final last year. Lachlan Brook, cashing in on him now that we have Politano. £1.3 million could make a huge difference here. He's off to Cardiff City. And by far the worst player in that final last year, Callum Elder, heading off to Watford. The 3rd man out though. I want to get a massive upgrade in between the sticks. Lawrence Thomas has done a decent job, but we're selling him permanently now to Ibar. We're going to pick up ourselves a new left back here. It's a famous last name, but it's Steven Sessegnon, taking up one of our 2 final remaining overseas player slots. Steven Sessegnon signing on here from Wigan Athletic. And in between the sticks, oh, I'm excited about this one, lads. This dude is one of the best goalkeepers in the MLS. It is the Jamaican shot stopper, Andre Blake, formerly of the Philadelphia Union. We've signed him from Werder Bremen in this save. 34 years of stage, 77 overall. He takes up our final overseas spot for just £1.4 million. Not done yet though, lads. Looking to build out the depth of the squad. Former Western Sydney Wanderer Daniel Wilmering is returning back here, joining us from the Newcastle Jets as a backup left back option. And we've offered Jacob Muir a lifeline here, the former Perth Glory defender, joining us on a free transfer. I don't know how we didn't win the A-League title last year. I absolutely bottled that for us in the final. We've got to go that step further this year, fellas. The team is primed. Blake in, Sessignon in, Politano becomes our highest rated player. We've got players continuing to grow and grow and grow. Our depth is looking incredibly strong. Let's see what we can do this year. Of course, we are going to be in next year's Champions League, but this year, Al Nassr won that. How did none of the Australian teams even made the quarterfinals last year? Melbourne City got bottom of their group. Melbourne Victory got third. We're going to have to change the luck of Australian clubs in Asia. I mean, the Wanderers have already done it once. Again, it's way too early. There's still a lot of football still to be played, but I'm checking in 1st of January. We're currently sitting 2nd in the A-League. I want another Premier's plate, and most importantly, I want to be skipping the elimination finals. I want to win the damn toilet seat this year. But our group has been determined for the Asian Champions League. This is genuinely cooked. We've got Shanghai, Al Hilal, and Ulsan Hyundai, one of China's best. We all know about Al Hilal, one of Saudi Arabia's best, the team that the Wanderers, funnily enough, beat in the Asian Champions League 10 years ago, and one of South Korea's best in Ulsan Hyundai. I don't know what to expect. I don't know what to expect from this group. Well, we really turned it on here. Second half of the season, we have locked in with the Wanderers. 16 points clear of the team, the reigning champions, the Central Coast Mariners. We're top of the table again. Elimination finals, Sydney FC and Melbourne Victory move on, and we are versing Melbourne Victory. It is a huge game here. Can we get ourselves back to the A-League Grand Final, 2nd straight year? We're at home. Melbourne Victory, you can never take them lightly though. One of the most successful teams in Australian football history, and we get it done, but Sutar's gonna be out for the final. Oh, straight red card. What are you doing, Harry? Harry Sutar is gonna be out for the A-League final, where we're either gonna have a replay of last year's grand final against the Mariners or a Sydney derby. A Sydney derby it is. As a Wanderers fan, if we won this would be the dream way to win an A-League final, beating Sydney in the grand final, but I just know I would not be able to sleep for the week leading up to it. Brandon Borello and Kalanovic up top just absolutely killing it. All of our attack absolutely killing it. Still got to wait and see if we qualify for the Asian Champions League knockout rounds, but we could tick the A-League title off right here, right now. Let's do it. I will say the pace of the game last year definitely caught me by surprise. We've brought in some more attacking orientated players, some higher rated players. I'm hoping that's the difference maker this year. Please, can we get the Wanderers an A-League title? So Danovic, they're playing it around. Good save, Andre Blake. That was such a weak finish. Oh, we overcommitted there, but we got so lucky. If Sessignon didn't win that, we would have been done for at the back. I'm just going to keep going here. Sessignon's so much faster than what we had last year. Brandon Borello straight into the keeper's gloves, though. Sinayoko goes there to Sedanovic. Fabio, it's a shot and it's a save by Blake. That's what we brought him in for. Good ball in behind. Come on. Oh, you're so slow, Kalanovic. Come on. Kalanovic, keeper, doesn't come out. Oh my God, that was like playing in slow motion. Feet stuck in mud. But it's our Croatian striker, Kalanovic, giving us the lead here in the A-League final. Substitution coming up here, though. I had it teed up before the goal. Milanovic off, Marcus Eunice on for the last 20. One more minute, and the Wanderers will be champions of Australia. Come on, lads! In front of the RBB, Western Sydney not only win the Sydney Derby, but we've won our first A-League title. From the heartache of losing to the Mariners this year to the overwhelming joy of beating Sydney FC, Brandon Borello is gonna lift the toilet seat to make the Western Sydney Wanderers champions of Australia. Now we say bring it on, Asia. but we still have some serious work to do if we want to win a Champions League. Finishing rock bottom of Group A, we've been grouped. I'm gonna get rid of Richie Ledesma. Ledesma, the American, he's just not cutting it, lads. Every time I played in game with him, he's not doing that great. He's not putting up great numbers. He's not developing too well, and he's taken up an international spot. So we're gonna get his replacement sorted nice and early. It's the Australian Keegan Jelicic, free agent, takes up no squad roles, comes straight in. That's a no-brainer. 23 years of age, has great shooting stats. Keegan Jelicic, welcome back to Australia. But before we can even think about getting ourselves another international player, we're gonna have to sell Richie Ledesma, which is exactly what is gonna happen here. Richie Ledesma heading back to Europe, off to Alaves. You know what? I've restructured the contract of Politano to get him into just regular status, not marquee status. We've gone out and picked ourselves up our second marquee here, Riley McGree, the Australian. He's applied his trade in Australia, the MLS, the Championship, but he's coming back to the A-League, signing on here £7 million to join us from Middlesbrough. I'm saying big prayers for this year though, lads. We've already won an A-League title, but we need to keep going back to back and getting ourselves into the Champions League every year. We've assured ourselves a spot in this year's upcoming one, but we need to actually get out of the group next year. So far, so good. Halfway through, or 8 games into the A-League season. We're going to go back to back, but most importantly, as long as we finish first, we automatically qualify for next year's Champions League. The Champions League winner this year, though, was our group stage opponents, Al Hilal. It's gone Al Hilal and Al Nassr basically every year. I mean, we were in a group with 2 of the 4 semi-finalists. That just proves how tough it was. I'm looking to make a starting 11 change here in January, though. He was one of our first signings at Wanderers, but Matt Miller is now heading to Trabzonspor, who we have elected to replace with Nathaniel Atkinson. He's coming back from the Scottish footballing leagues. He's joining us back here from Hearts for £1.9 million. Again, oh my God, we can't escape them. Shanghai and Al Hilal. The only team different this year, instead of Ulsan Hyundai, we get Yeonbuk Hyundai. This is, all right, let's see. This is a great test to see if we're progressing or not. Okay, that's good. We were only 2 points behind Al Hilal here in Group A. That's better than coming dead last. We make it straight into the quarterfinals where we get Al Ittihad. I mean, there's not really any good options here, but I just wanted to avoid the Saudi clubs for as long as possible. We did finish top of the table in the regular season though. 3 losses. We have got Australia under wraps. We're heading to the Champions League again next season if we don't win it this coming year, but we are top of the table. Can we go back to back as champions? We beat Melbourne City and we're going to be versing Melbourne Victory in the A-League final, which we do back to back. Toilet seats. Come on, lads. What a year as well. Our attack is insane. Borello and Kalanovic absolutely crushing it. Riley McGree, what a year for him. And what a great year in the assist department for our new signing Jelicic. With the Asian Champions League quarterfinals on the other side of this season ending, we have a massive start to season 5. Qualifying for the Champions League knockout rounds, I had to go out. I had to get a fresh cut, lads. We mean business this year. A huge blow, though, as we head into this first leg against Al Ittihad. Brandon Borello is suspended. Bottolado comes into the starting lineup. Can we take something respectable back to Wonderland? We take more than that. Oh my God. A 3-1 lead, a 3-1 win. They still have an insane side, Al Ittihad. They've got Jota in there. They got Luis Felipe and Fabinho on the bench, but Yildiz, we're going to take the lead back. Oh my God. 3-1 is actually huge. That's a huge lead to take back to Combank Stadium, to Parramatta, to Western Sydney. Brandon Borello back into the starting lineup. How are we going to go? Don't bottle it, lads. Oh my God, we almost bottled it. Tate Russell is the man that is going to get us through to an Asian Champions League semi-final. Holy crap, we almost bottled it. Tate Russell, friend of the channel, follow each other on Instagram. You could say we're best mates at this point. Tate Russell gets us there. Oh no, fellas, it's Al Hilal in the Champions League semi-finals. I mean, as you can see above me, we did beat them in the group stages, so there is hope, but still, they're a daunting opposition. The first leg, once again, in Saudi Arabia. I'm hoping Neymar and Alexander Mitrovic and all these insane players have left, but we get the lead again in this one. Oh my God, Malcolm scores. Now we're actually crushing it. Mitro's on the field there. They don't have a crazy man. They got Lucas Hiradecky in between the sticks. Malcolm gets the goal. Who do they have on their bench? They got Neymar on the bench, and they kept him on there. Oh my God. All right. We've got the lead. Atkinson and Kalinovic are going to give us the lead against Al Hilal. I'm fully expecting Neymar, Mitro, Malcolm, all the big guns to be brought out on a full display here for the second leg. We're away at Combank Stadium against Al Hilal. The second leg. How are we going to go? Come on, lads. Please, fellas. Get through. We get through! Mitro and Malcolm score. Politano and McGree are sending us to a Champions League final. They didn't even start Neymar. What are they doing? They didn't even bring him off the bench. That is hilarious. I mean, I'll take it. We take down Al Hilal and we're through to a Champions League final where it looks like we're going to be versing Ulsan Hyundai. Can we win the Western Sydney Wanderers, their second Asian Champions League title? Only one club in Australia has won an Asian Champions League, and we're looking to win the second title with the same club. We've been given a massive leg up for this as well, lads. Looking to add a second star above the crest, but we're doing it at home. Combank Stadium. Oh my God, what is that deflection? What is that going back to them like that? Oh my God. We have just conceded 8.5 minutes into this one. In front of the RBB, Ken Politano put this one on a silver platter for somebody. For Kilinovic, comes out. It's going to be Jelicic. Jelicic on the volley. Oh, what a save. Oh my God. Well slid, well held up. All right, focus, Jared. Brandon Borello. I'm going to hold it up like that brilliantly. Politano blocked. Follow up. Come on. We get an equalizer. I'm celebrating in the RBB here. Kilinovic is going to get the ball falling right to his feet. We've equalized in this Champions League final. Big tackle, Stensness. That's huge. That was a risk. I'm just playing this one in the corner and running. Borello into the corner. Look at the defender's stamina. The defender's red. The defender's red. Brandon Borello in the 88th minute. Might have just won an Asian Champions League for us. Oh, we have absolutely milked that defender. As soon as I saw his stamina was in the red, I'm like, I've got him here. I've got him hook, line, and sinker. The counter-attack, Combank is rocking. There's been an earthquake measured at Parramatta. Oh my God, Brandon Borello. What a goal. What a game. We might just be Asian champions. Come on, lads. The whistle's blown. Western Sydney, for the second time in club history, are going to be Asian Champions League winners. I absolutely love doing rebuilds as a whole, but it just hits different when it's your favorite club. Oh my God, this is a great feeling. It is going to be the man that scored the winner. That was Mr. Consistent throughout this whole video, Brandon Borello, wearing the captain's armband. And just like Nikolai Topor-Stanley all those years ago, it is now Brandon Borello lifting the Champions League and crowning the Western Sydney Wanderers as Asia's best. Lads, if you enjoyed this video as much as I did, make sure you click here to subscribe, leave a like, and click here to watch another video.